The air was crisp and biting as snowflakes swirled under the glow of street lamps. Jack Sullivan adjusted his delivery cap, blew into his gloved hands, and stepped into the driver's seat of his delivery van. He glanced at the dashboard clock, 5:47 p.m. on Christmas Eve. The van's heater wheezed as it struggled against the bitter cold, and Jack sighed, rubbing his tired eyes. This was his last route of the day, a long shift that had started before dawn. He'd spent hours navigating icy roads, dodging last-minute shoppers, and delivering packages to homes bustling with holiday cheer. Jack loved Christmas, but working in logistics during the holiday season could drain even the most festive spirit. As he reached for the next package, a small box wrapped in gold paper caught his eye. It wasn't on his manifest. The tag read, "For Emily," and the return address was from a toy store a few towns over. Confused, Jack flipped through his paperwork. There was no mention of it anywhere. "Great," he muttered. "A stray package." The radio crackled with static before the dispatcher's voice came through. "Sullivan, you're clear to head back once you finish your last delivery. Merry Christmas." Jack hesitated. He could just return the package to the depot and deal with it after the holiday. But something about the box nagged at him. He imagined a child named Emily waiting eagerly by the tree, her eyes lighting up at the sight of this mysterious gift. He couldn't bear the thought of her disappointment. "All right, Emily," Jack said, tightening his scarf. "Let's figure this out." The address on the package was partially smudged, making it difficult to read. All Jack could make out was the name of the town. Clover Ridge, about an hour's drive away. He decided to go for it. The roads were treacherous, but the thought of delivering this gift to its rightful owner gave him purpose. As he drove, he thought about his own childhood Christmases. Growing up, his family had struggled to make ends meet, but his mother always found a way to make the holiday magical. One year, she'd worked 3 jobs to buy him a second-hand bike. He still remembered the joy of finding it under the tree. Snow began to fall harder, blanketing the windshield. Jack slowed his van, keeping a close eye on the winding road. He finally reached Clover Ridge, a quaint town adorned with twinkling lights and wreaths on every door. The streets were quiet, most families tucked away for the night. Jack parked near the town square and stepped out, clutching the package. He approached the first house he saw and rang the bell. A woman in a festive sweater answered, her face lighting up at the sight of the package. "Oh, is that for us?" she asked. "I'm looking for an Emily," Jack explained. "Does she live here?" The woman shook her head. "Not here, but try the bakers down the street. Their daughter's name is Emily." Jack thanked her and hurried on. The baker's house was a cozy cottage with a snowman in the yard, but their Emily was away visiting grandparents. Undeterred, Jack knocked on door after door, following every lead. Each time he was met with kind smiles and offers of hot cocoa, but no Emily. The night grew colder, and Jack began to doubt himself. Had he been foolish to chase this lead? He wondered who had sent the package and why it had ended up in his truck. The mystery weighed on him, but so did his determination. Just as he was about to give up, Jack spotted a diner with lights still on. he decided to warm up and regroup. Inside, the air was filled with the scent of coffee and cinnamon. A waitress named Clara greeted him with a warm smile. "Rough night?" she asked, setting down a steaming cup of coffee. Jack explained his quest, holding up the gold-wrapped package. Clara's face softened. "You're looking for Emily Parsons," she said. "She's a sweet little girl who lives just outside town. Her mom passed away last year, and her dad's been doing his best to keep things together." Jack's chest tightened. "Do you know where they live?" Clara nodded. "It's a small farmhouse off Route 12. With renewed determination, Jack thanked Clara and headed back to his van. The snow had turned into a blizzard and visibility was poor. He gripped the steering wheel tightly, his breath fogging the window. After what felt like an eternity, he spotted the farmhouse, a modest home with a single strand of lights on the porch. Jack trudged through the snow, package in hand, and knocked on the door. A man in his late 30s answered, looking surprised. "Can I help you?" he asked. "I'm Jack, a delivery driver," Jack explained. "Is Emily here? I think this package is meant for her." The man frowned, his expression a mixture of confusion and curiosity. "A package? We weren't expecting anything." Jack hesitated, then handed over the box. "The tag says it's for Emily. Maybe it's a surprise?" The man called over his daughter, a curly-haired girl of about 6. Her wide eyes lit up when she saw the package. "For me? Really?" "Go ahead, open it," her father said, crouching beside her. Emily tore into the wrapping, revealing a beautifully hand-painted wooden doll. Her delighted gasp filled the room, but it was what came next that stopped everyone in their tracks. Inside the box was a note, written in elegant handwriting. "For my dearest Emily, I know this Christmas will be hard, but I want you to always remember my stories and the magic we shared. Love, Mom." The father's face paled as he read the note aloud. "But how?" Jack shifted uneasily. The return address was a toy store a few towns over. Maybe there's more to it. The man stared at the note, his voice breaking. "Her mom mentioned wanting to leave something for Emily before she got too sick, but she never told me. She must have arranged this with the toy store." Jack thought for a moment. Maybe the address got smudged when they filed the order. It's lucky it ended up in my truck. The father nodded slowly, tears streaming down his face. "This doll, it's just like the one she described. She said she wanted Emily to have it, to hold on to her stories and imagination." Emily hugged the doll tightly, her smile radiant. "It's for Mommy. I just know it." Jack cleared his throat, feeling a lump form. "Sometimes miracles happen," he said softly. "Merry Christmas." The father placed a hand on Jack's shoulder, his eyes glistening. "Thank you. You've done more than you know." As Jack drove back to the depot, the storm began to clear. The stars peeked through the clouds, and the world seemed a little brighter. He thought about Emily's smile and the gratitude in her father's eyes. It reminded him of why he loved this season, not for the gifts, but for the connections and the kindness that brought people together. Jack parked his van and headed home, feeling lighter than he had in weeks. He'd made it in time to share Christmas Eve with his family, carrying with him a story he'd never forget. Sometimes the smallest gestures can have the biggest impact. By going the extra mile, Jack had not only delivered a package, but also a piece of Christmas magic, reminding us all that the spirit of the season is about giving, compassion, and love.